She was rushing to get ready for work, yelled that she was late for an important client meeting, the usual song and dance, and flew out the door. As she drove off, I heard a thud near the front door. I went to check. Lying on the floor were her expensive leather notebook and a business card. It wasn't from her company. It was a Bulgari card. With the stylish logo, everything correct. It had a name: Brad Stone, Regional Manager, VIP Sales. That was already too much for a business meeting. But the most crucial thing, on the back, handwritten in pen, it said, Saturday, 4 p.m. Our place. Don't forget your headache. B. Saturday. Tomorrow. She had already warned Tay that she had a get-together with girlfriends, and on Sunday, she would have a terrible migraine, which meant, don't touch me. Elle looked at the card, then at the wedding ring on my hand. I had just been cheated. On paper. Or, at least, had the plan for their next business lunch. Friday. The day passed in a haze. I couldn't work. I tried to find our place, using Google Maps, typing in the names of trendy downtown bars and hotels where she often stayed late. No results. It must have been some private spot. In the evening, Alice came home, being unusually nice. It was worse than her tantrums. 7 ordered pizza. Honey, you seem 50 stressed today. I ate 5 just watch a movie. I felt bile rising in my throat. She was trying to soothe my suspicion before tomorrow's date. I lied. Great, Alice. You know, I think I'm coming down with something. My head is really aching. I think I should go to my sister Sue's place on Saturday. She lives 2 hours away, and I can rest there in silence. Her reaction was instant and uncontainable. Her face lit up, but she quickly tried to hide it. Oh, you absolutely should go. You look terrible. You work 50 hard. That's a wonderful idea. You need peace. I'll hang out with the girls and then just relax at home. I won't even call. 50 you can get a proper night's sleep. No tea, sorry you're sick. No, I'll miss you. Just delight at having a clear space for her date with Brad from Bulgari. It confirmed everything. I spent the evening pretending to pack a suitcase. I even called Sue, telling her I wasn't coming, but asked her not to answer if Alice called, and then to text me that I was already asleep. Elle was going to catch them in the act. I was miserable, but no longer blind. Saturday arrived. I woke up early to drive to Sue's. Alice was excessively cheerful, almost glowing. She even gave me a farewell kiss, which I barely endured. Have a good rest, Mark. I'll take care of myself. I drove off but, after only a couple of blocks, turned onto a quiet street where I could park without being noticed. I sat there, waiting to see what she would do. At 3:30 p.m., their date was at 4 p.m., she eyed the house. She was incredibly dressed. Not in her usual business attire, but in a little black dress she usually wore to very expensive parties. She had on the same sparkly bracelet and, of course, the ring with the green stone. She looked like she was heading to an awards ceremony, not a get-together with girlfriends. She got into her car and drove away. I kept my distance as best I could, like in a bad movie. I was ashamed of myself, but I had to know. I couldn't divorce based just on a business card. She didn't drive downtown, as I expected. She drove to an old country cottage district, about 40 minutes from our house. It was an area of luxurious homes, often rented out for weekends. I never knew anyone we knew who lived there. She pulled into the driveway of one very modern, glass house, fenced off by a high-end edge. She entered a gate with a keypad lock. Parked further away. I knew this was our place. But how to get inside? I was locked out, and time was running out. Was desperate. I stood near the tall hedge. I couldn't just climb over. It would be too risky and, frankly, too physical for a work-from-home software engineer. I stared at the keypad gate. I looked around for clues. This was a VIP rental cottage area. I was certain this place belonged to, or was rented by, Brad or his company Bulgari. Remembered that Alice always used the same code for everything that required numbers. Our shared lockbox, her old gym locker, even the pin for her tablet. It was her date of birth followed by the last 2 digits of our wedding year. It was so obvious that I never thought she would use it for something truly secret. Elle walked up to the gate. My hands were shaking. I entered the digits. Click. The gate silently opened. It was a punch to the gut. It was so personal and careless, using the code of our marriage to enter the place of her betrayal. I slipped onto the property, quietly closing the gate behind me. I circled the house, keeping to the bushes to find a vantage point. The house had many floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking a terrace. And then I saw them. They were inside. I crept up to a large panoramic window that looked into the living room. It was brightly lit, and I could see them clearly, in high definition. Alice and Brad from Bulgari. He was exactly as I had imagined. Perfectly dressed, golden tan, a watch on his wrist that probably cost as much as my car. He was much taller than me. They were not sitting at a business meeting. They were sitting on the couch, very close. Alice had a glass of champagne in her hand. She was laughing. That carefree, genuine laugh I hadn't heard from her in years. Brad reached out to her face and tucked a strand of hair back. Alice responded by putting her hand on his chest, her thumb stroking his collar. It was an intimate, deeply personal gesture that she never made with Tay unless I asked. I realized this was not a one-time fling. This was a relationship. And then I noticed something else. Brad handed her a small black velvet box. A Bulgari box.